How's it going, everybody? Marvel Strike Force is going to be doing a live Q&A and I think a demonstration of Battle World. So we're here for it, and I just don't want you guys to get a jump scare. Marvel Strike Force has gone metal. This is not my music. This is their music we're hearing in the background, and we're going to check out whatever they're going to throw at us here today. Hopefully it's a long video. Hopefully we see like a full playthrough of Battle World, but it's supposed to be like a week-long game mode? So I guess we'll have to wait and see what's going to be up with that. But if you do like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, well, it's not up to me. Let's see how long it takes for these chuckles to show us what's going on. Oh, here we go. Look at them going all out on art and stuff. I like it.
Welcome, everybody, to the first official strike spot. I am Pathfinder.
And I am Strike Fox. How y'all doing today, Commanders?
Wanted to give a quick overview of what that music was that you heard at the beginning and the stream starting soon. I want to give big kudos to Tommy Meehan from the band Guar. That is going to be a part of the Null Battle World boss music, so when you're in game you should be able to hear that music as well.
New music finally in the game.
For the
Love
iconic
that.
King in Black's theme, only another equally iconic Space King could do him justice.
Love it. Well, we have an exciting developer Q&A for you today, and we are super excited.
There you go. Was it too
to
quiet?
be able to introduce you to Jose. Jose, why don't you give yourself a little bit of an introduction? What do you do on the team? How are you related to Battle World? And then we'll get started.
Hello, my name is Jose. I am UI manager on Strike Force. So that entails kind of overlooking the production of the UI for the future, working with a team of talented designers to bring you what we're going to be showing you today.
Awesome. Love it. Well, we have an exciting show for you today. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go over a little bit of a presentation. Jose is gonna talk through a bunch of different things regarding Battle World, and we're also gonna have some Q&A afterwards.
I've never seen this Jose guy.
The official Discord, as well as just the community in general, to ask us your burning questions about Battle World, and we have some of those to answer for you today. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch up the scene here, and we're gonna get started.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jose,
All right,
I'll let you take it away. Here we go.
Are we on the null slide?
We're going to
Yes,
show
we
a
are.
little video here first.
Okay.
That's clean.
There we go.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Jose. I'm very excited to be here to talk to you guys today about Battle World. I was lucky enough to be involved in the feature from very, very early on. So I remember one of the very first things when I saw about Battle World was
Full screen.
a concept using comic art that showed Asteroid M with some MSF strike, raid nodes on top, and very different than what we're showing today. And it's been cool to see the evolution to what we have. I will be talking about character, environments, and UI for the production of Battle World and how we got to the point that we are. So if we still hold on that null slide, please. What you're seeing before you is a turn sheet. It's usually a combination of back, side, and three-quarter views. This is enough for the modelers to take the concept from 2D and turn it into a 3D object. The three-quarter views is also meant to show a little bit of the character's personality. The turn sheet is also good for tech artists. They can use it to resolve any issues that may occur, such as skirts, capes, or shoulder armor that could clip when posing the character, or when tentacles attach. Fun fact, we have a tech artist that really likes tentacles and likes to put tentacles on things. So
Oh, I know what kind of material that guy's watching.
Small props are also included in the turn sheet, and sometimes they also have various views. Lastly, the turn sheet also has material callouts. Those are the two spheres that you see in between the character poses, and they're meant to, for the texturing, to show what kind of material it is. As an example, could be the type of fabric, whether it's a new or severely weathered type of fabric. If you don't mind going to the next slide, please. Similarly, like the last slide, sometimes characters or side characters or important props will get a turn sheet. This particular creature is one that needed to be animated, so a turn sheet was needed. Okay, and let's go to the next slide. Now that the graphics update is complete, we can add new environments to our game. It's a lot easier than we can do it before. So let's take a look to see how this environment came into existence.
I'm so happy we got new environments now. We need a new environment.
Next slide,
this is
please.
great. Oh, look at this dragon.
For almost all things art related, we tend to start out with some sketches.
That'd be cool.
Here you can see some early concepts of the null-themed environment. These do a great job in setting the mood and establishing the shape language and starting to nail down some of the smaller details. Another key part in this process is taking flying characters into consideration. We want to make sure we design in a way where the characters aren't clipping the environment when they're flying around.
Like the new Oath.
Okay,
Makes sense.
Next slide, please. Here is another concept that focuses on the smaller items that are found in the environment. Our artists then use these to understand the details. Smaller props also help communicate the scale.
Well, after he talked about the guy who
life
likes
within the
tentacles, I don't know how to take this.
Next slide. And here is the turn sheet for Null's Throne.
Nice.
Next slide, please. And this is the final concept that you see. It's very close to what you see in game. Now we're going to move forward and talk a little bit about UI. What you see before you is an early concept of the home screen. At this stage in the process, the idea is to establish the overall look and feel. For example, here we wanted to convey that you're viewing a holographic projection of the Battle World globe with some spatial UI showing the info on the boss. Then the rest of the UI on the side is populated with the information that's relevant to the screen. Next slide, please. This is an early version of the Zone Select screen. Like in the last screen, we're trying to sell a concept, so we make temp assets that will later be replaced. One of the things that took us many iterations was how to display the zones in their various states. Early on, we didn't know who the boss would be, so we used Magneto. The idea was to show a menacing character looming over the map.
That's okay, whatever.
Next slide, please.
That looks better than the null one we've seen.
One thing we did different for Battle World was to break up the UI into spatial and flat UI. Spatial UI refers to the rendered holographic parts of the map that are rendered in 3D space and have a unique color palette that's different than the flat UI. We made sure to push the tech feel by using micro-roundings, bevels, extra line work, and then duplicating and reducing the opacity to mimic a holographic feel.
The UI looks very clean that we've seen so far, right?
And here is an early version of the mission select screen, where the spatial UI was vastly different. The colors and text styling were not final, and we were still experimenting with how to display the boss on the map. Early in the process, missions were set up in a linear fashion, so we had concepted out a path, similarly to how we do in other places in the game. And that's all we have for behind the scenes today. Now let's take some questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Let me unminimize so we can see the chat.
Let's just kick this off. We have a full list of questions, and we're just gonna go back and forth. Just to give you an idea, not every question that was asked we were able to get all info for.
Can you guys fix
and
the
there were people who didn't
want
want
to
their
fix the
name
character
to be
release
mentioned,
method to
which
not
is totally
suck?
fine. And so we're gonna go kind of back and forth. So we're gonna say who it was, and if it was anonymous, we'll just say it was anonymous. And then we'll ask the question, and Jose is going to answer. So I'll kick us off here with the first question by KJ Nava. The question is, can more than one person attack the boss battle at a time, or will it be locked out, similar to
Pathfinder
how
is a community manager now,
or war work?
So yes, we can. We actually implemented new tech. So now multiple alliance mates can attack at once. When you return from the boss screen, you can see the damage done by each individual member through a leaderboard or a UI animation.
So,
all right. Now,
well, I'm just going to put mute it for a second. So what they just said was interesting, right? Because this is new tech. I wouldn't be surprised if when multiple people do an attack, it bugs out, only one person's damage is tallied. We should definitely keep an eye on that when this comes out.
essentially be a 3-week cycle, 1 week long standard, next spec ops, next boss battle, or do these events run simultaneously?
So it's the latter. They run simultaneously. Battle World is a 6-day event, and each day you have a set of standard missions, spec ops that you complete. If you manage to get through them on the 6th day, you will battle the boss, in this case being Null.
Awesome. This next question is anonymous. What days is this going to run, and is there going to be any type of cooldown?
Yes, so the current time frame is Monday through Saturday. That gives you Sunday if you want to switch alliances, because there's a 24-hour period where once you join, you have to wait 24 hours before you can actually start participating in Battle World. So we took that in mind, so commanders can switch alliances as needed.
All right, and this next question is also anonymous. What extra ability levels do characters that don't, or what extra character ability levels will we have for characters that don't naturally have them in the game?
So it's the same system as raids, so the characters get boosted in the higher difficulties.
Yeah, and just so you're aware, you can see that when you're actually on the screen as well. Like you'll see, extra 25 levels or extra, ability levels or health or anything like that. It works the same way is what that was. Next question, great name, Pivanator. In the how to prepare for Battle World section of the Battle World announcement blog, it says that players will need a well-rounded roster and that there will be upcoming opportunities to power up Extreme, X-Men, Spider Society, Hive Mind, Alpha Flight, etc. Are these the only teams that will be usable in the initial version of Battle World?
No, actually, you'll be able to use a wide variety of characters in your roster. It will not be only those teams. We will have blog posts in the future explaining a bit more detail.
All right. This next question is from Flying Joker. If an alliance can't complete missions in a week or failed to unlock the boss battle for that wave in that week, will they remain stuck until the event as a whole is reset, or will the rave reset next week?
If you don't win, if you don't get enough VP to progress the next zone, you stay there until you're ready. You stay there the next day, and you got a chance to try again. But I'll be answering a little bit more detail within the following question.
Awesome. This next one is from Father Squid. So while I'm sure that full alliances will have the most success with this node, how restrictive will Battle World be for the alliances that don't have a full roster? Is it something that they can complete? Can they reasonably expect decent rewards? Or will this force alliances to struggle and find a full roster?
Well, it's worth noting that advancing zones each day should be very possible with partial alliances. The expectation is that you don't need to clear all your mission waves or spec op missions in order to advance.
This next question is from DLH2108. What will the missions give us individually, if at all?
Missions will have a mix of different rewards, and it will scale with difficulty, and you also get VP. VP is important because that's how you unlock new zones, and it also gives you credits that you can spend in the store. Well, the credits are not part of VP. Sorry, I kind of worded that wrong, but you also get credits that you can spend in the store.
So same like all the other modes.
Next question is from CS or C squared, apologies. All of these teams are unique with various abilities that only apply in raids or war, or will the raid and war bonuses be active during Battle World?
We would like you to want to play with the full power of your team. So at this moment, we're using combat mounts. Sometimes they're raid, sometimes it's war, sometimes it's CC. All of that information is shown in the mission. There's a little tab that shows combat mods, so be sure to check that out before starting a mission.
And this next one here is anonymous. Are the segments of Battle World timed, or theoretically, if waves and spec ops are finished early, can we start fighting the boss early, or are certain waves and the boss only available on specific days, regardless of pacing?
You're locked out day by day.
Battle World is broken up into 6 24-hour segments. You have 24 hours to get through a zone and advance to the next one. If your alliance fails to reach the required VP to unlock the next zone, you have to stay there till the following day. If you finish early, you still have to stay there until the following day, but you can keep trying to earn more VP. In the end of the day, more VP equals better rewards.
Awesome. The next question here is from Jedi John. Big question is, when does Battle World start?
My guy, that is the question we all want to know. The current plan is November, but it is subject to change.
November.
Super exciting and super excited for
Yeah, I
everyone
know,
to get
right,
their
Jerry?
hands on it.
Me too, man.
Uh,
Can't wait.
this next question is from Mostef Isley. It appears that special ops may be similar to the platoon missions in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, territory battles. If this is the case, will MSF publish the specific requirements for the special ops missions for each zone in advance of the launch of Battle World so that the Alliance captains can make appropriate assignments?
Okay, well, as of right now, we don't have any plans to post mission requirements in advance. However, we can bring this up to the team. I do understand, planning your roster upgrades, and so you want to see who you're going to upgrade. Well, we can't promise. We do have another stream on the 30th, where we can try to release more information. When Battle World does go live, though, you can see the requirements of Spec Ops by previewing it in each mission.
All right.
Awesome. Next question is from Mad Hatter 0307. What's the estimated amount of time that will be spent on Battle World per day? And will there be any accommodations to the regular schedule of activities to compensate for that time?
We're currently exploring other options. Timing game is something that we analyze a lot and take very seriously. There has been no concrete decision made yet, but there are a couple options that we're exploring at the moment.
So dodge the question.
This next question
Dodged
is
question.
anonymous.
Playtime.
I assume the boss at least is going to have some extra gusto to make soloing near impossible at this time, but maybe the waves could be.
Okay, so this one. The boss is meant to be really challenging. We use some special mechanics to make them difficult. The boss battle, it has new combat wave mechanics, a little different than in other modes. The first challenge is to be able to defeat Null once, but Null revives infinitely. So the point is, alliances are going to compete over how much damage you can do, and that all goes towards the final day.
So essentially, what you're saying is that the boss is going to be unkillable right now.
In a way, right? Like, it's not like there is a kill count in the boss, so you can show how many times you kill him. But when you kill him, the battle's not over. He'll revive, and then you're back into it again. So again, the point is to see how much damage you can do in that node. The top alliances are going to be competing to see who can kill the boss the most.
Awesome. The next question is from Areolith Lion. Will Null have a team associated with him, meaning an affiliate rework, or should we expect Null to be a little more standalone plug-and-play character?
The only thing we can answer at the moment about Null is that he should be a plug-and-play character, and he's going to fit into a variety of teams.
Very cool. This next question is anonymous. What are the requirements for difficulties? Will there be specific team requirements outside of one picture? How often will specific requirements rotate? And if so, how often?
Well, the node requirements to our regular missions, which are known as combat missions, aren't intended to change after Battle World goes live.
Node requirements
Combat missions will only have trait requirements.
Big news there.
We do plan on rotating Spec Ops periodically, and the elite missions are going to ask for very specific things.
Ooh. Rotating Spec Ops is stupid, but
Next
okay.
question here.
That's stupid, but okay.
From, I hope I pronounced this right, Jamecy. Will Battle World have a difficulty threshold to unlock?
Yeah, no, it'll be playable.
Increasing difficulty, similar to Raid.
Okay. Battle World, it's going to work similar to Raids in the way that there are thresholds to progress to the next difficulty. But unlike Raids, you acquire VP points, and that's done through battling in various missions.
All right. This next question is from Kane. What are the requirements for placements on the special missions? Will it be specific characters or place by trait or some other general categorization such as level 75s, 7 stars?
The Spec Op nodes will have different requirements. It could be gear, it could be star level, it could be red stars, etc. And they will likely change periodically. There might be overlap between characters used in combat missions and Spec Ops, so make sure to check it out and plan ahead.
Awesome. Next question is from Leo the Lion, asking, will Battleworld be a source of getting dark promo credits?
Battleworld will mainly be a source for purple ISO.
He said mainly. He didn't
Next
say
we
only.
have
Maybe we get like gear and stuff from there too.
Neva?
Maybe.
Will the enemy energy count that is currently seen on the Null boss battle concept fight be added to other modes for regular gameplay?
To be determined, but we will likely want to save this for special occasions. We do try our best to listen to feedback, so please, if it's something you like, please let us know.
Awesome. The next
I
question.
see Leo the Lion in chat, actually.
Nice.
There you go. It's live. Proof
Next
it's
question
live.
here is from Commander Red Eye, and it's asking about the lore of Battleworld. So the question is, will the storyline follow Marvel lore, or is this more of a different or divergent version?
The story falls in line within the Marvel Strike Force story.
Alrighty. This next question is anonymous.
Small amount of dark
Do
promos,
players
yeah.
have to progress through
It was
the
just
same
a dodge
waves
question.
at the same time and wait in line to play like Arena/War? Or is it like War where there are multiple waves to attack for multiple players at once? We can't just have two people attacking the same wave at the same time. Then you have to clear all available attack options to clear a wave in order to progress further? Or is it like Blitz in Campaign, where anyone can attack at will as much as they want or are able to, and the total progression from each player
First
is
opinions.
gathered
I'm
and
not allowed to
tallied
give it
together?
to because I did a play test on it. They're keeping it
Okay.
pretty close to the vest.
There's a lot of questions, my guy.
But we play tested, we gave feedback, and we are.
And each combat missions in each
I'm hopeful.
zone are not shared, so you can attack at your own pace. It's like actually you almost answered your question. It's like when you mentioned where the total progression for each player is gathered and then tallied together.
Yeah, and I guess to go a little bit further as well, similar to like War or Raid, where an individual person is attacking an individual node, it's not reliant on you sitting there waiting for somebody to attack. You can attack, multiple people can attack at multiple, like in the zone, multiple people can attack at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm. But like I said, we implemented some new tech that we didn't have before,
Zero.
allowing multiple ranks to
Zero so
attack
fucking
at the same
funny.
time.
Next is KJ Nava. How does health redistribution abilities affect the boss battle, similar to Apocalypse and Power Basic, or like Vol, abilities like that?
We'll bring that Minerva ult back. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, Null has a lot of new mechanics to prevent him from taking huge chunks of damage in a single hit, so that might not be the best strategy.
Yes, you're not going to take 40% of Null's life off with Bronze Ultimate.
All right,
That'd be stupid.
I got another long one, a big one for you, Jose. Well, it seems like there is a cap on how much you can participate for the Spec Ops passive part of Battleworld. 10 characters per player. Is there a participation limit on the Waves part too? Is it like War, where once you've used a team to attack, they are spent regardless of win or loss? Or is it like Dark Dimension, where if you use a team to attack and they clear the wave and survive, can you continue to use members of that team again on additional waves? Can one extremely strong player solo all the waves if their team doesn't go down? And this was an anonymous question.
Okay, so each player has 3 attempts per mission to clear as many waves as possible. Each node has a slightly different requirement, so there should be little overlap. You can only use a character once per day, and combat missions are not shared between Alliance members.
Good to know.
Okay, another anonymous question, and it is asking what is going to be in the Battleworld store.
All right, you wanted to take this one, didn't you?
Yes. Stuff.
Yes, there's going to be stuff. Expect to see new character shards and purple ISO.
Character shards. Store character shards.
Nice. Okay. Sorry, I had to. Next question is anonymous. What will the leaderboard rewards be? Will this change the leaderboard payout timeframes for war and raid? And will it evolve into a 3-week cycle?
Battle World's going to have its own leaderboard and its own cycle, so it should not affect any of the other leaderboard cycles.
Awesome. Looks like we have a couple more questions here. So this one is from Tiger Martin 69. As there is no map, I presume it's going to be like War of the Whole Alliance to take out rooms. We do actually have a map that you can see at least a brief view on the website. But Jose, I'll let you finish that out.
All right. Oh, yeah. So we do have a map. The map is as follows: you enter a zone. Each zone consists of four. You enter the zone, then you go. The zone has 4 missions. Between you and your alliance, you need to earn enough BP in the missions to advance. And individually, you have 3 attempts per node.
All right. And this will be the next to last question from Annieman85. Will there be reworks to an existing team or teams to make them Battle World meta like you did with Wakandans and the Crucible, for instance, Guardians of the Galaxy?
I will ask. If I can get a Guardians of the rework, I can't make any promises. I do get you, though. Star-Lord was my first legendary, so I would love to see that team shine again.
All right. And our last question is actually a question for you guys, and it's a bit of a pop quiz from the beginning of our stream. So what is another name that Nola is known by?
The King in Black. No, that's not right. Lord of the Abyss.
And you can go ahead and answer in chat.
It's Lord of the Abyss.
All right. Looks like Gideon XXL has answered the King in Black. Well, congratulations. That is your promo code. Go ahead and enter it on MarvelStrikeForce.com.
Oh, there you go. Promo code, guys. We got a promo code. Promo code.
Awesome.
King in Black.
Jose,
she didn't tell us if it was 1 word or 2 word or 3 words.
Kicking us off, the first official strike spot. Thank you so much for being here and answering all of those questions, giving that presentation. Gotta say, the artwork is just so cool to see kind of the early concepts and see a lot of the work that goes into this. Also seeing how, UI plays a huge role in making sure that people understand. So we appreciate everything that you have done with that.
Okay, cool.
Well, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I really, really love this game, and I'm super excited and super proud of what we're putting out there. I can't wait for you guys to play it. I can't wait to play it myself. So yeah, I can't wait. Let's wait. Stay tuned for more.
All right. Well, I believe that is everything that we have for you today, but we will have another stream coming, as we said, at the end of the month. So
no
please look
gameplay.
forward to that and stay tuned for more.
I feel honeydicked.
For today, this has been Strike Fox
And Pathfinder.
signing off.
Bye, y'all.
And actually, I hate to spoil this, but we do have one. We do have actually one more thing that we're going to show
surprise?
you before we're going to get off.
Deliver it, Pathfinder. Deliver it, buddy.
One more thing.
Gameplay. Here we go. Okay. Fuck you, Pathfinder. Fuck you, Pathfinder. Fuck you, Pathfinder. That was some bullshit. You brought in the worst team ever. You ear-raped us. And then you didn't hit any fucking buttons. Motherfucker. Fuck you, Pathfinder. That's peak cliffbait, though. That's peak. That was peak cliffhanger. All right. I have a little notepad of things that I was starting to write down. And we should go to the website for this. So if you go to Battle World, a couple things that they talked about there. Jesus, man. That's so rude. All right. A siege on Battle World. If we go over here, so what I took that to mean is each zone has these nodes, and when he said combat missions are not shared, this tells me these victory points, this is solo. Everybody has the capability of producing 4,670 victory points from this node. Everyone can do 4690. Everyone can do 5500, which would shatter this, but it's the only way it makes sense. These numbers are probably placeholders, though. So what this means is this is kind of like your new raid map, I guess, where, you know, you'll hit this, you'll go in, you'll do whatever the gameplay combat stuff is, and then you get 3 attacks to try and get 4,600 points. So there you go. That's how I interpreted that, because I had a lot of questions about how does this add up. So Zone 1, you only need 60,000 points. 2 people can easily get that if they max all these out. So I think that Zone 1 is probably super easy to get to. Zone 2 maybe is going to cost like 200,000 to get through. Can you pin that, please, Steven? And then Zone 3 maybe even more. Zone 4 even more. Until you get to Zone 5, the Null. Which, actually, you know what? I misspoke. I thought the Magneto one looked better. I think this one actually looks a little bit better. I think it needs to be pushed back a little bit more, though, so that this UI stuff isn't going on top of the terrain. But, yeah, okay. He said it shouldn't require a full alliance. Well, there you go. So that makes a lot of sense there. Other things that he talked about, a store. He talked about a store, which is interesting. Battle World store, which I guess we knew right here. This is going to be the currency for the game mode. Purple Lights in here. He talked about character shards too. I wonder if they're going to do a giant character dump into this store. Like, you know, break up the Crucible store a little bit. Maybe add a bunch of new characters in there right off rip. I wonder if that's what they're going to do. Maybe that's where we'll get Illuminati. Maybe they hold on to them until that time. Other things. It's going to run from Monday to Saturday. Sunday will be off. That's interesting. The chat was unhinged, trying to just hit on Star Fox. Like, guys, for the love of God, touch some grass. The 4 teams discussed are not all the teams. I mean, we kind of knew that just from this, right? The second you saw Cosmic, the 4 teams that were discussed doesn't go here, but I think elements of those 4 teams will be usable throughout the 5 missions, and then I guess on Null if you really wanted to, though those teams kind of suck. I was hitting on Pathy. Yes, Ceci had the right idea. You got to hit on the magical stash for sure. Battle World launched November, subject to change. They're going to do another stream on the 30th of October, which I guess is where we're going to get the gameplay. Every question was dodged. So it's funny. The questions they chose, they dodged them, but they dodged them in a way where they gave a little bit of info, but you would have already had that info if you went through this blog, right? A lot of the questions were kind of, the answers were pulled from this blog, which is fine. Dodge more questions than Web Warriors. True. Actually, let's make chat bigger. You guys are funny. We'll make chat a little bit bigger for this. Yeah, I think a lot of the questions were dodged, but I think they just had to be dodged. Some of them, I mean, the answer to the question is so common sense that it was a silly question to ask in the first place, in my opinion. Can you kill the boss multiple times? So that was answered, and that's how we're going to be differentiating in the leaderboard. And there's going to be a leaderboard for this mode, which I guess we all kind of assume there would be, right? Like there's War and there's Alliance War and Crucible leaderboards and Raid leaderboards. Of course, there's going to be one for this. You're going to kill him multiple times, and every time you kill him, you're going to get 60,000 victory points, I guess. But do we get a certain amount of victory points for damage dealt? Because what's really curious about Battle World, in my opinion, is it's going to be the mode where they cannot, like, you know how War and Crucible, it's out of your control with who you match, how many points they give you. In raids, it's like, hey, did you skip enough raids? Are you going to go... you're gonna, hoard all your keys. You're gonna do 3 raids back to back. So they kind of fix that aspect. So I think the leaderboards of Battle World could truly determine the best alliance every single leaderboard, because everybody's gonna be running it the same amount of times. It's gonna depend how many times you killed Null, how much damage you do to Null. So this could be like the definitive which is the best PvE alliance in the game, which is interesting, right? I mean, the community keeps voting for Furry, so that's pretty good intro. All right, I don't know what conversation I'm off on, but yeah. Will the big guilds even bother? They have all the big boy Odin, so who will care? I mean, if that's where you get Null Shards, they're going to care, though, right? So you can kill the boss multiple times. That's going to be the leaderboard differential. Null will be a plug-and-play character. So this guy right here, he's going to be a plug-and-play character. He's not going to be some sort of symbiote, and all of a sudden the symbiotes are team again, or just to revitalize the Hive Mind. He's going to be plug and play. I assume he'll work good with them because he's probably going to hit super hard. Activate Carnage passive, he can go like that. But I assume he'll also be better with other teams like maybe Annihilators or the new teams like Night Stalkers, Orcus, whatever the case may be. But maybe we won't even have him until we get, more teams on top of that. Node requirements are static, but they're going to rotate the Spec Op requirements. That to me is absurd. That is absurd. That makes no sense whatsoever. So Spec Ops, the way I understand Spec Ops is in the way he described it, he said that there would be requirements, gear, red stars, stuff like that. So there's going to be characters in here, I guess 30 characters to choose from, or I don't know how many characters are going to be there, but it sounds like there'll be characters inside these missions that you get to choose to basically remove from your roster. They go do their job, and those characters are going to have requirements, whether that be gear, maybe levels, yellow stars, red stars. Who knows if there'll be diamonds in there, maybe ISO requirements, stuff like that. But they're not going to be static. They might rotate those characters. So I guess it depends, right? If these are the characters that they're trying to get you to sacrifice that are on here, then I guess you're going to have those characters built anyway. So when they rotate it, it might just be a different character from that team. Like, let's say it's for Pegasus, which hope to God they don't use Pegasus, right? Maybe 1 week we'll have Kestrel as a Spec Ops character. The next week we'll have Rescue. I guess if they're being very specific with that, it's fine. But if they start branching out to a random character, like someone just said, Gear Tier 19 Stature, right? If that's the case, okay, well now you cannot rotate it. Because if somebody builds really trash characters up just for Spec Ops, rotating it is a horrible thing. Because what they've done is they've leveled up a garbage character just so they can hit that metric to help their alliance out. And then you switch it to needing like fucking Wasp Gear Tier 19? No, that's not okay. So the whole rotating Spec Ops, plus there being requirements for those characters, I think is crazy. Somebody asked a question about difficulty, and just no answer was given, right? Let me pull my notepad up for you. Just no answer was given to this whatsoever, or am I crazy? Because what it sounded like to me is a question about difficulty was asked, and he went off on some sort of tangent about, God, I don't even remember it, because all I wanted to know was this. Hold on, where is it? Is it down here? Was it this one? Yeah, all I wanted to do was this. Like, what do we expect from each difficulty? What do we expect alliances to start at? Do endgame alliances have to start from the very lowest difficulty and climb all the way up? Like, that's what I thought the question was asking, and we did not get an answer on that whatsoever. Battle World, predominantly purple ice rewards, we knew that. HP percent won't work on null. Thank God. How stupid would it be if you came in to this epic boss fight and you did Brawn Ultimate and all of a sudden his health dropped down to like here because it's 40% max health? Like that'd be such a stupid thing, right? So thank God that's not going to be a thing. 3 attempts per mission, once per day. Okay, so this was elaborated on. This was well communicated. And here, first of all, let's just get to the other way. I'm not taking shots at Jose whatsoever. I think he probably was only allowed to share exactly what he shared and nothing else, right? Especially when they talked about questions about like, can you tell us what Spec Ops is going to be ahead of time? No, they don't want to tell you what it's going to be ahead of time because they want you to panic build the last second. That has nothing to do with him. I'm sure he doesn't want people to have to do that. That just has to do with the business aspect of it. So it is what it is. Yeah, it's not always their faults, right? It's not that he's not informed. It's not that he is a bad communicator. It's that he's very handcuffed on what he can say. But he did talk to us about this. So there's 3 attempts per mission. So each of these is a mission. Characters can only be used once per day. So even if you use your Spider Society team and you beat this city section, you can't then go over and use them on the Spider-Verse. So you're going to have to use a different city team and then a different... you're going to have to use a city team and then a completely unique Spider-Verse team from what you use in city. Which I thought that was pretty straightforward, but apparently people needed that answered. And these combat missions are not shared. So again, the 4,670 that you give, that is independent of everyone else in the Alliance. They can also contribute 4,670 from that exact same node. Battle of the Leaderboards on its own cycle, and then the promo code KINGINBLACK. We're going to have to put that in the title of this video. But yeah, I've been recording this whole time. I'm just going to put it up. We'll have timestamps to when I kind of went over everything, I guess. But so a lot of people are kind of bummed out on this. Like, wow, like obviously they weren't going to tell us anything and this, that, and the other. And they were talking about UI, and that's kind of boring. But that's what other game companies do on their Twitch channels. Like it's very scripted. They do go in the weeds, even though, like, I know everyone just wanted gameplay, myself included, right? I joked about it when Pathfinder did that teaser, but that's what everybody wanted to see, of course. I wish they did a little bit of gameplay at least on one of the nodes, so we knew what to expect from the gameplay. But this little teaser stuff, I think is fine, especially if they're going to do it regularly. Like, it's what, the 11th today? So in 19 days, we're going to have another Twitch cast of it. I think that's cool. That's fine. Oh, there's Pathfinder right there. What up, Pathfinder? Don't watch the recording of this, especially when you did the teaser, okay? You don't want to see what I said. But yeah, no, I think that this was good. This is a good first step. The strike times are cool. I think strike spots, that's what it's called, right? Strike spot. Yeah, that's fine too. All right, I'm gonna end this video. Bye, guys. Stay happy, have fun. Like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to share some Battle World footage with you. But you know what? Selfishly, I'm kind of happy. Maybe the Envoys will be the first ones to release Battle World gameplay footage. That would be dope. Hopefully, very, very, very soon. And just like in the last video, guys, let me know in the comment section below. Do you want Scopely to let the Envoys show some gameplay footage of Battle World, especially Null, especially after Pathfinder just teased us? I have the bluest of... That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.